All right, my brothers and sisters, we are live. Welcome to Let's Build. This is a segment topic of discussion. This evening will be about forgiveness. As you guys see, I have Commander Ashtar here with me, overseas right here, Universal Brothers and Sisters. Thank y'all for tuning in again, and we'll try to do the best we can with what we have right here. So as you see, we're in a different location this evening. So what's up, Roxana? I see you. Yeah, Thurston, how you doing? Shannon. Yeah, so I see a lot of you guys are tuning in already. What can I say? Forgiveness. So I'm going to give it to Commander Ashtar to go ahead and open up the seminar portion of tonight's event, and then after that we'll get to some questions that you guys may have on forgiveness, and anything after that thereafter. So once again, this is Let's Build.
Easy enough. Greetings all, please. Bear with us for 1 second, please. I'm gonna. Did you see if you can access the cafe page? So, hello, once again. Always a pleasure. Hello, Pamela. Please let me know if our audio is coming through clear. Once again, we're in another location. Still focused and open to share a beautiful connection with you and communicating what's necessary as far as our healing is concerned. So thank you for tuning in. So are you able to, yeah?
Yeah, this is the axis right here.
All right, easy enough. So as usual, we'll start with a small discussion on the nature of our topic today, and then we'll get into an open forum about any questions or in-depth detail about our concern for today, or our topic for today, excuse me. Perfect. Thank you very much, Medisa. So, forgiveness. This is a most sacred discussion today, because we're speaking of a very subtle frequency that's encoded within the nature of unconditional love. In light of ascension, you hear the words or the coined phrase, let go, a lot. And at the root of forgiveness is letting go, and acceptance of what is. As with everything and every aspect of what we communicate about, the foundational root of these attributes, so these energies, have to do with an internal process. And once again, forgiveness starts within. It's about self-acceptance, allowance, a deep sense of bliss and peace, and knowing that all that has unfolded or taken place up to this point has been for you, for your greater spiritual benefit. With a sense of presence, there's only forgiveness. Forgiveness allows you to be present. It allows you to be here in this now moment and realizing there has not been anything out of alignment with what you have created for yourself. You're experiencing your own journey, your own love, your own expansion, your own glory, your own miracle. And the way to embrace that miracle is through your sense of release and acceptance of now. Of course, acceptance is only possible through forgiveness, through the release of all that has transpired in linear terms to this now moment. And when you look at the sound vibration forgive, you have no choice but to realize the word for and the other word give. And in actuality, you're giving to yourself, you're giving for yourself. You're giving to reflections of self through your compassion, through your ability to accept the acknowledgement of all being exactly as it's supposed to be. Understand this. You're never not doing the best that you can. Process that for a minute. You're never not doing the best that you can. Never. Based on your level of awareness, your sense of knowing, your sense of being, your frequency of being, and your level of presence. You're doing the best that you can. And so is everybody else. Everybody else, as well as yourself, all reflections of self are doing the best that they can to realize and align with the truth of unconditional love and acceptance. We're here. We're making decisions based on our present level of awareness. And it goes a little bit beyond the level of awareness where we all know that you can know the aligned way of doing things, but at the same time do it in another way. This is wisdom. You can have the awareness of what's necessary. However, that awareness in action is the manifestation of wisdom, the manifestation or embodiment of your full knowing or awareness or your present level of awareness. So once again, that sense of wisdom is reflective in your ability to forgive and accept yourself and others for where you are in this now moment. So let's discuss one thing, because I'll be honest, I looked up a couple quotes or famous quotes on forgiveness prior to this, and one of the themes that continued to repeat itself was a person forgiving but not forgetting. And I know a lot of us feel this or have expressed this in our own way throughout our linear experience. I'll forgive, but I won't forget, right? There's distortion there. Based on the fact that forgetting is an aspect of memory. To not forget is to hold on to the experience. There's no presence. There's no presence there. It's basically holding on to the linear illusion. That means you've not forgiven. It's an oxymoron to say you've forgiven, but you're not going to forget, is to hold on to what you've claimed to forgive. Forgiveness is basically a recognition of this now moment being perfect in exactly how it's always supposed to, or always been and supposed to be. It's a recognition of presence. It's a recognition of now being a blessing beyond the mind construct. Forgive and let go. This is correct. This is so. This is aligned. This is wise. You forgive yourself first. Forgive yourself for everything that you felt you've done wrong or out of alignment or outside of your character, or there's a lot of pressure brought on by the assumptions and pictures and expectations that we have in light of being enlightened and awakened, and we are healing. And the healing process is an aspect of the linear experience. It's happening. We're healing continuously. Letting go of, for example, you cussed, you say you blow up at someone, you express yourself in a distorted manner and project yourself in a way that's disrespectful. It's necessary to forgive that. Another aspect of forgiveness is in saying, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to align more, I need to ground, I need to forgive myself. It's even necessary to embrace more forgiveness and self-acceptance in light of these expressions, because once again, that need is a sense, it brings about a sense of pressure, as if this present moment is not already what it's supposed to be. It's already perfect. You're not doing the best that you can. Oh, I need to change this. I need to change that. And at the end of the day, once again, you're doing the best that you can. Relax. Accept what's taking place here. Calm. Presence. This is what's necessary. And completely being here in this now moment, beyond the mental activity of assuming that there's something out of alignment with this now moment. It's exactly how it's supposed to be. And once again, your sense of forgiveness within allows you to share that essence with others. It's the foundation of your ability to share a sense of unconditional love with others. Analysis, contemplation. Once again, this is all mental activity. Being fully present, being here, being aware, being self-aware, conscious, breathing, in gratitude. This is where the essence of forgiveness and unconditional love and peace within the essence of love exists in this now moment. However, as you can see, just like the colors of a rainbow, they all blend. We speak of compassion and gratitude and service and all these beautiful attributes that come with an awakened, intuitive lifestyle. However, as we continue to build and discuss these topics in a social setting as we are now, you'll realize that they all are intertwined. Forgiveness, unconditional love, gratitude, service, presence, divinity, grace, all intertwine and interlink within each other. They all coexist within the same frequency of that unconditional love, the high frequencies of the heavenly realms. There's infinite intelligence here. Life is intelligent. That's what we're experiencing. We're experiencing the intelligence of our own design. However, an awakening process is about realizing that there's only been perfection. And through that recognition and sense of awareness, You're able to embrace the forgiveness necessary to remain present and return to the now moment. As you awaken, you realize certain aspects of your experience and possibly the ways you've been expressing yourself and the decisions that you've made within the linear experience. However, once again, only through forgiveness can you return to the present moment and actually accept now as a blessing. Now as a complete miracle and blessing beyond comprehension, beyond expression. As you can see, I'm wearing a hospital gown. Yes, I'm checked into a hospital, experiencing some a return of the endocarditis that I had a year ago in LA. Once again, there's only perfection now, and the continuation of the work that's necessary in focus and presence and gratitude for life and the ability to continue to move forward and evolve is in the ability to forgive oneself and allow what is. I'm not a victim in no way, shape, or form. I'm a leader. And with the leadership process, there's a lot of healing that takes place. And once again, I take full responsibility for all that's taking place on my path. And the only way for me to be able to do so and continue to do so is in forgiving myself and continuing to serve by any means necessary. I take this experience as an opportunity because I speak to many of you on a daily basis, and I know you're experiencing distortions on all levels and different levels. But once again, these are all catalysts of your strength, of your expansion, of your grounding and stability, your trust and confidence in knowing what you came here to do. This is the role of a leader. Setting an example. Someone just spoke of setting an example. This is exactly what this is. However, setting an example comes with experiences that are integrated within your experience. It is absolutely necessary. All of this is absolutely necessary. There are no mistakes. Oh, you're in the hospital again. Oh, you were just there. Yes, I'm aware of this. However, the nature of our path is beyond comprehension. There's many aspects of this linear experience that are beyond the simplicity of, oh, if you're evolved, you should be healthy. You should be balanced. You shouldn't have problems with your health. You should be eating right. Oh, I thought you didn't eat meat. And GMO chips and things of this nature. Once again, we're alive. We're here. We're living and accepting the now moment. And once again, that forgiveness is constant. It's a constant sense of presence. You allow and accept all that is for what it is, and you follow your heart. Beyond judgment on all levels. So, with that being said, the compassion is necessary with oneself. Here is the main focus, because through the cultivation of what's here, you're continually expanding an essence of unconditional love and purity that you came here to share as a healer. And representing the light, and embracing the intent of seeing liberation here on the surface of planet Earth. And a pillar of that level of service is in your ability to forgive yourself and know that you're perfect, not later, but now. You're perfect right now. It shouldn't matter what you're doing. It shouldn't matter what you said, what you used to do. You're here now. You're alive. And you have work to do. But once again, that work starts here. So, what's good? See you all right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So writing the lovely folks out there.
Love, love, love. So, yeah. Oh, vielen Dank, Chef. Absolutely. So, if we can go to some questions that we have,
Let me check it out.
let's get started.
Think,
Greetings all. Once again, we're open to connect. It's a great pleasure and honor to connect here with you in this now moment. We're speaking on forgiveness. We're open to an array of inquiries. However, we prefer speaking on the subject matter of our discussion today, which is forgiveness. So please feel free to communicate and connect.
a lot of great comments. Not that they were questions, but
Okay, cool. Excellent.
So, Lisa said the act of forgiving is coming from a place of judgment. Unconditional love does not require forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to touch on that.
This is so. Excellent point. However, the linear experience, healing amongst the linear experience requires these attributes. It requires to ground, to heal. It's necessary. It's a necessary aspect of the experience. So, just as this discussion, yes, unconditional love is the nature of existence at its root. However, we cannot ignore the fact that we're within the linear experience, and with the intent to heal, it's necessary to release. And the release is based on the ability to forgive. And actually that falls in alignment with another aspect that I did want to touch on. So in actuality, this is a blessing in itself. We're used to apologizing and saying, I'm sorry for this, that, and the third. I love saying that. I'm sorry. However, this is programming. It's a custom, and there's a wholesomeness at the root of this expression. But at the same time, you're not sorry. You're healing. And healing comes with the recognition of what has been out of alignment with one's true self. It's a process. But the judgment of right and wrong, good and bad, and this is not the appropriate thing to say or whatever the case may be, it stalls the process of healing. This is the analysis of this now moment. Once again, we're talking about divinity here. It's an oxymoron and very, very complex in nature. There's an infinite sense of expansion and paradoxes that surround the nature of our being. However, beyond those discussions, beyond the nature of these expressions, there's the truth. And the truth is peace. That's it. It's being here. So yeah, sometimes you may bump into a person and say, hey, I'm sorry. It's just programming. You're used to doing it. I get it. It comes from a place of love and attempting to be polite and recognize a distortion, if you will. But as you evolve, you let go. And there's silence, there's presence, there's a sense of being. We're within their linear experience to allow for a graceful embodiment of a sense of presence. That's why we're here. That's why we're even having this discussion. Allowance and acceptance. And a sense of internal realization of the nature of what's taking place here. This is what all of this is for. But eventually you come to a place of discontinuing the analysis of all that's taking place. And you're able to accept what is. So allow what is. It's not about correcting others and attempting to align others and put people in their place. You're not here to do that. It's about a sense of internal recognition of the divine truth. And this is a constant process, it's a constant practice. All is well indeed. So what you got?
I got some more.
Okay.
So I actually got a couple questions.
Sure.
Back up here. Oh, give a shout out to your cousin as I did so for you, Harvey.
Yo, peace, E. Peace, E. Blessings.
Get well soon. I told him
Yes,
with him soon.
all is well. I'll definitely connect with you soon. But once again, peace. We're here, always connected, always in service. You're not the only one going through it, brother. We all experiencing the healing process in our own way, but our sense of presence allows us to realize now is a blessing, and it all has divine purpose, and is definitely for our greater spiritual benefit beyond being a victim on any level. You're here doing exactly what you need to do. So
I got a question from Sheila.
Yo.
Could you please speak on losing family while following this path of forgiveness?
Mm-hmm. So, well, let's speak to the context of your inquiry first. Loss. There is no loss. There's an agreed upon framework that we all choose within our soul contract.
I want to speak up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind.
Yep. There's, and just so you know, my little brother passed away in a car accident this past August. I'll speak to that, being that it's from a first-hand experience. Jordan, my brother, came here on a mission. His mission was to shine the light of unconditional love amongst all that he connected with, period. And based on his soul contract, he came here to do that work, and when that work was finished, it was necessary to move on and continue that work. How you feeling, Doc Chef? That's a look. So, there's a sense of attachment in us wanting those that we enjoy in the physical here with us. However, just like we have a mission and still being alive here on the planet, incarnate, they have a mission. And when I say mission, it sounds cold, as if, we're here to do, it sounds conventional and very masculine, if you will. However, the nature of a person's soul contract is a mixture of both. There's both the masculine and feminine energy, where we're sharing energy and a sense of light and essence in which we're here to share. However, that framework for some individuals calls for the reincarnation process. They can't stay here with us as much as we would like them to stay. We can't hold them back from continuing to evolve and do the things that they're doing and representing the light and assisting all aspects of existence and realizing the divine truth within themselves. And no, we can't stop that. We must allow and have the unconditional love and acceptance to allow them to continue forth and do what they are here to do and leave gracefully to more worlds, to more experiences, to shine the light that you recognize in them. It's a beautiful thing. I enjoy there's a term amongst humanity that says it's not about grieving over a relationship or connection ending. It's a celebration of it actually happening, being in joy that you had the opportunity to experience such a connection and feel the essence or that soul imprint of another individual within your experience while they were here in the physical, before they make their transition. And it's a little more complex than that as well, because once again, through the experience of full consciousness, there's a realization that you are connected to these individuals. Every individual that you've ever made a connection with here on earth in this lifetime and those before, you're aware of them. Why? Because they're within you. Within the physical illusion, there's the sense of separation. But within full consciousness, you realize, recognize, and are able to actually connect and interact with these beings on different levels of planes of existence, if you will, because once again, they're in different places in the physical, continuing to do the work of physically shifting themselves into a space of awakening by free will, of course. But there is a return to that awareness. So once again, through your awakening, it's an expansion. There is no loss. There's only awakening to the illusion. And through this process, you will, and it's necessary for you to know this, you will connect with these individuals again and realizing that they're okay. They're safe. There is no loss. There is no death in reality. There's a transition. Of course, this transition is not the most pleasant experience in the world in many cases. However, it's necessary and the most beneficial thing for our spiritual growth beyond logical comprehension. So know that there is a return. Be graceful, gracious, and accepting of all that is this now moment. What you got?
Got a lot, bro.
All right, cool. Let's go.
Once again, hello everybody. Overseas here, or Black Corey. Today I'll be Hyungai, as I'm using my dragon essence to help Commander over here heal up. We have something from Thurston. Said, when you have to be reminded of what someone did to you, is that still considered forgetting?
If you have to be reminded.
Of what someone did to you, is that still considered forgetting? I think that's a distortion from the other party, constantly reminding them of the pain or whatever.
Put it this way. I get the gist of your inquiry. Put it this way, though. Sometimes when something's not healed all the way, the individual's circumstances or essence of that which you haven't forgiven or released fully returns to your physical experience or your awareness to allow for a deeper sense of healing. You might see someone you used to date with someone else. It's not necessarily about forgetting the person, but accepting it, accepting what happened and being sincerely honest with yourself as far as what has taken place. And sometimes, that's just one example, sometimes we're being presented these things in order to readdress the deep sense of healing that was necessary. Hey, what's up, bro? You don't give me a 5? What's up, bro? You good? Sure. Everything cool? I'm perfect, man. You?
How you doing?
Word.
Good.
Yeah? Oh, you getting your back worked on? Take your time. Take your time. It's all good. Absolutely.
Every time.
It's all good.
You all right? Dancing though. That's what I'm talking about.
Love, bro. So, yo, ciao. The healing is continuous. It's a continuous process. And once again, circumstances and situations will readdress themselves based on your intent to truly heal from a place of or genuinely and sincerely. Like, you can attempt to, oh yeah, I'm good, I'm over that, and you try to push it away, but at the same time you're still cussing. The emotional blockages, the resentment is still there. You could say with the voice of the ego that you're okay and you're finished and you're healed, but at the same time there's still deeply embedded blockages within your energy field. And once again, the nature of infinite intelligence sees through the superficial nature of attempting to say you're okay and it's all good. Like, you have to, once again, continue to allow these things to take place and move forward. So this is why a lot of these reappearances of old experiences and feelings continue to readdress themselves so you can fully heal. What else you got, bro?
I'm just responding to Carrie. She finally got to tune in. She was having issues with technology on her iPad. So, let's go. Boy, I got a lot, man. That was from, trying to get back to where we were at. Let's see here. Yeah, Thurston. Okay. So, so Candace said she started saying thank you instead of I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, thank you for being patient instead of sorry you had to wait. And it completely changed her vibration that she was cultivating.
Excellent.
In her experience.
Great. That's an excellent substitute.
And Delia, I hope I said that right. Delia.
Hold on, was that Candace? That was Candace who said that?
That was, yeah.
All right, yeah, excellent substitute, Candace, saying thank you versus sorry. This is helpful. Thank you for the experience and realizing the sense of, or deeper sense of alignment. This is helpful. What else you got?
So, and Delia said, for me, forgiveness must be experienced with wanting to consciously release oneself and others in whatever act was played.
Conscious recognition of what has transpired. Forgiveness of oneself and others is consciously done, and it's a continuous process.
Let's see. Mel and I want to say Roxana also dealt with a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Mel's mother, but she understand with her mother's transition, this forgiveness and grounding helped her with that for
Mm-hmm.
her mother's passing.
Okay.
Um, Abraham, um, he says forgiveness. Higher topics are in vogue. It seems not the same as not holding my grudges or secret hurts. The action of forgiveness is a process, not an event. So I'm going to dub it forgiveness. And he says some more. Whatever it takes to forget about it should be done. Forgiveness should be approached with a willing heart and absolute assuredness that the act is selfish. It is for me, not you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I hear, and once again, Abraham, beautifully expressed, of course. I'm going to address the word forgetting. Once again, this is a mental process dealing with the ego mind, memory, and once again, this is in alignment with reminders or remembering, or once again, all this is mental stuff. And as you continue to ground and return to the heart space, there's a release of these activities and being purely of the mind identity. The heart always knows there's only now. There's only this now moment. This now moment contains the frequency of forgiveness, the frequency of unconditional love and acceptance. It's all integrated within the now moment. Love, the nature of who you are as God. It all exists now. So, once again, moving away from the mind construct and its attempts to forget, it goes along with the other distortions that come with the mind identity and its need or dependency on the memory construct. You want to allow yourself to dissolve this and be more present, complete presence. What you got?
So you're getting messages on the other stuff too. But the next one is Jennifer, who asked, how about our subconscious of forgiveness?
Our subconscious of forgiveness. This is, and I'm raveling around the nature of your inquiry, the subconscious of forgiveness. Subconscious is the subconscious mind. This is not the foreground, but the background. I feel like forgiveness becomes an aspect of subconscious activity based on the embodiment of a sense of unconditional love and acceptance. This is constant. Once again, through the practice, through that sense of repetition, it becomes automatic as far as aligning with your true self. So in a way, once again, we're moving away from the conscious, subconscious construct and being the mind, where the heart space and its sense of presence is, it naturally forgives, and because it's completely present. So the context in which you inquire about the subconscious and its talk of forgiveness, we're still dealing with the mind construct. And this is where you're still within the realms of forgetting and remembering and attempting to control the nature of an essence that's naturally present. What else you got?
I got a lot, man.
Yeah, let's
This is dope.
stay on this. You don't have to respond to everything while we're doing this. Let's just keep with the questions.
Okay, so I know there was a question about the physical pain. There it is right here. What about the physical pain of loss? Physical pain of loss.
Once again, there is no loss. When you speak of physical pain, I'm going to assume you speak of the emotional body and its effects on the physical and the senses. You allow. This is an energy attempting to release itself. You allow that energy to release itself and forgive yourself and accept yourself and allow that energy to be expressed. If it's crying, if it's an outburst, if it's anger, resentment, or whatever the case may be, the unconditional love and self-acceptance and forgiveness, which once again is all integrated within that rainbow of divine frequency and being present fully, allows you to accept how you feel and allow the pain or distortions that you may feel or that are brought about by the release of that energy to flow through you. You allow them to flow. Once again, the healing is in accepting them and always being able to return to the heart space and embracing the sense of peace. Return to the frequency of peace. This is what this is about. Always.
So I got something from Junior Empress,
Mm-hmm.
and she's dealing with a lot right now. Currently, she wants to heal but doesn't know where to start. She says her ex-partner has gotten someone else pregnant while she's pregnant, and it really hurt. She loves him a lot, but she's so angry at him. So,
The simple answer to that would be within. You always start within. This is the foundation of that forgiveness. You feel angry, a sense of resentment, a sense of betrayal. All of these things are there, and this is okay. This is okay. Feel them, experience them. This is wise. This is self-acceptance. However, beyond the drama, from a space of clarity, eventually there's a space of clarity. However, it's necessary to allow yourself to feel these emotions first and accept them and forgive yourself for having them. Once again, the lack of self-judgment and self-acceptance is what makes way for the ability to express a sense of unconditional love. You heal starting within. Once again, there's no blame, and through allowing these emotions and as an expression of wisdom, there's a sense of personal responsibility. You're accepting responsibility for how you feel. And this is okay. This is wise. This is wisdom in action. This is leadership in action. Accepting how you feel and not holding it over yourself or not forgiving yourself for them or feeling guilty about it. Oh, I'm awakened. I shouldn't be feeling this stuff, but it's pissing me off. Let it. Let it. Through the allowance, you allow it to flow through in the release of the distortions that may be. This is the only way. This is where healing starts, inside. Of course, you can't control another. And once again, under the programming of deception and darkness and judgment and all the other things within the lower frequencies, there are very, very distorted expressions amongst humanity. However, they serve as catalysts. They serve you. You're not a victim. They serve you. And expanding and developing your sense of stability It's necessary to be extremely strong to serve. You serve through your strength. Your strength is in your stability and being responsible versus reacting, the ability to respond and be completely present. Yes, as you heal, you will react. It's natural. It's the linear process. You're healing, but through your intent, you're allowing yourself to continue to return to that space of peace. This is what this is about. So allow it. No self-judgment, self-love, always more. What you got?
So Sheila is about to face a big surgery.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't really say what type of surgery, but she's a little scared. So,
Okay.
Can you say something on letting go of the fear of the pain of the upcoming event,
Mm-hmm.
the surgery?
Those of us on the awakening path, and being that you're here, and through your presence, there's a connection that we share. There's a purpose in which we are connecting. There's an intent within you which is responsible for our connection. That intent is to evolve and move beyond the cycles of reincarnation, the cycles of destruction and distorted projections, and being a leader and ushering in the new earth. You didn't come here to die. You're here and you're doing the work that's necessary to awaken and set an example amongst humanity. Relax. I'm not projecting it upon myself, but there is a possibility that I recognize that I may be doing another open heart surgery. It's okay. I didn't come here to die. I came here to live. Came here to shine. And the nature of this path is in doing the work that shows humanity that the impossible is possible. There can be a 360-degree turn in the nature of your experience, just like that. But it's more so about your sense of trust and confidence and presence and being here and not entertaining the voice of the ego mind that will try to scare the crap out of you every chance it gets. Let that go. It's not helpful. It's a misallocation or investment of your manifestation abilities. Once again, more grounding work is always necessary. Let's be here. An indication of the nature of the work that you're here to do is a lot of times in the drama. Because, once again, the path of a leader is difficult. It's not easy. You're going to lose everything. In some cases, you'll be humiliated and embarrassed. But guess what? That's what you're here to do. Let them see it. Let each and every person that you know see what's taking place. Let them see it. Open your heart up. Beyond judgment, let them see it.
Accept it.
Accept it. Because just as they see you fall down,
You gotta see you get up. Gotta see you rise back up.
they got to see you rise like the sun in the morning. They have no choice. So let it go. Be here. What you got?
Now, next is from, I hope I say this right. I apologize if I didn't pronounce your name correctly. Adi What about betrayal? How do you get it out of your shocked mind?
Betrayal, how do you get it out? Once again, how being the request of an explanation based on logical terms, logical explanations of the interactions or methodologies of the divine. How-tos are always logical. The divine works beyond logic. Your intent is key. You want to clear a distortion from your experience. Yes, of course you do. It's that intent alone that allows it to clear itself. The intelligence, the infinite intelligence of life will manifest the experiences, interactions, and connections that's necessary for you to realize that you're okay. And the superficial nature of what you've experienced, betrayal, you'll realize it through your own experience. It's just more so about being here and releasing the mind activity that's trying to figure out why. You're asking why because you really would like to just detach from it now through some methodology. Be patient with yourself. Forgive yourself for feeling the way that you do. This goes back to forgiveness. Your ability to forgive yourself is allowing you to accept the now moment and be more present, in allowing infinite intelligence to manifest that's what's necessary, that which is necessary to clear that distortion on a deep level. But the only way to get it at its root is to allow all that's transpiring to transpire naturally. That's what's going to allow it to take place. So release, let go. More forgiveness, more patience, more acceptance of the now moment. What you got?
Marley asked a question. I think you touched on it already.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could just elaborate a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Physical pain we feel within this process.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that.
Mm-hmm. The physical pain we feel in this process, and speaking on this transition. There's a lot of it. Some of it is beyond explanation. But once again, there's so much happening on so many different levels that it's always necessary to continue to ground yourself where you become more sensitive and you're able to experience a deeper sense of intuitive living. It's necessary to embrace an intuitive lifestyle. Yeah, you can have physical pain that actually requires immediate medical attention. And you end up in the hospital with antibiotics in your arm, and or you can go the more natural route. But there's also the transition of the physical body. You're experiencing the replacement of your carbon-based cellular structure with a crystalline-based cellular structure. You're experiencing the manifestation or a mutation or transmutation of unfoldment of a new chakra system. The 13 chakra system from the 7. The chakras are still developing. The eyes are adjusting to new hues of color spectrum. The solar flare activity is continuously bombarding the surface of this planet with photonic light, which is having an effect on your cellular structure. It's continuous. All of these things are taking place. However, the difference, how do you tell the difference? The intuition. You must embrace the intuition. And this is where grounding is so necessary and so important. Grounding, grounding, grounding. Every day, all day. The complexities of all that's taking place are better realized and embraced through grounding. The nature of the things that's taking place inside of your body is embraced through grounding. For embracing a more intuitive lifestyle and being present is all possible through grounding. This is why the nature of focus in these transmissions is not about telling you stories of what's coming and all the ships have this many windows and you can do this and we can fly here and here's all the star nations and their names and this star nation looks like this and this, that, and the third. Once again, these are all stories, distractions. It's about grounding as you let go of the analysis of all this stuff. There's peace. There's a clearing of belief systems, mental belief systems that are based in doubt and confusion, and are at the root of a lack of awareness and attempting to, or being dependent on someone else answering questions for you. Grounding. This is what's necessary. This is what allows all the magical experiences that we play with in hearing about the nature of ascension. It's all about grounding and being in peace and letting go of our expectations in the mental construct itself to allow for that which is beyond comprehension to manifest and be realized on a deep level within our own being. So grounding, as always. What you got?
So Mel expressed with her mother's transition, she would have dreams of her dying in various ways, and this was very continual for some time after her transition. Why would that be? Why is she still envisioning her mother dying in different ways even after she already passed? I guess is the question.
This is where trust comes in, Mel. Once again, anything that you're consciously aware of within the dream state is encoded communication from oneself to the conscious self. Anytime you recollect something that took place in dream state within your waking, living, conscious experience, it's for you to embrace and accept. However, attempting to figure out why, this is analysis. This is the mind attempting to receive an explanation about what's taking place. Once again, patience is necessary. This is an encoded aspect of your experience specifically. You're allowing yourself to see this for a particular purpose that's not for me to explain to you, but for you to accept and allow for your experience to reveal to you. This is similar to am I a starseed? Am I a light worker? Am I an indigo? There's no magic in me saying, oh, yeah, you're indigo. You're a starseed. You're a light worker. You're from Sirius. You're from Centaurus. There's no magic in that. It's necessary just to accept what's taking place and allow your path to show you.
What's up, Jeff?
Your path will show you all of these things, but it will show you in the means and way that's necessary for you. You've created untold gifts and mysteries and blessings for yourself that will only unfold in a miraculous way that's necessary for you to experience, that will bring you the most joy and be of the most spiritual benefit to you as an individual. However, grounding allows you the ability to accept what you created for yourself beyond the impatience of the ego mind attempting to figure out how, why, early or prematurely. You want to find out in the most natural way, because this is the way that it's going to be the most paramount and effective. You create these circumstances for yourself for purposes that are beyond comprehension. So once again, it's just about allowing and accepting what's taking place and continuing to do the work and knowing that your focus is on the liberation of oneself and allowing the details to manifest and unfold themselves naturally beyond attempting to jump the gun and attempt to grasp identity or figure out things that may take place that are, continuously manifesting themselves. Allow them. Relax. Let them come in as they do. Because once again, you've created a beautiful story for yourself. Enjoy the story. I was telling C's a couple of days ago, I remember one Christmas, and I'll never forget that Christmas. My mother and father bought some things that we really wanted. Me and my little brother really wanted for Christmas. We really, really wanted them. And I can't remember, one day we went to the trunk of the car for something. My mother asked us to go to the trunk and get something, and she must not have recollected that the gifts were in the trunk that she bought us. We saw it, we got a sense of excitement. However, that Christmas morning, it didn't have the same magic that it usually has, because we prematurely experienced that, which was supposed to be a surprise. Why wouldn't you want that excitement? You deserve that excitement. You deserve that surprise. You deserve that sense of joy and bliss and shock that is associated with a Christmas morning for a child. You want that. Allow it. The mind is going to be impatient and try to spoil it. Experience the magic. Relax. It's happening. You can feel it. Many of you can feel the nature of your presence, but you want to accept it and allow it to unfold and not focus on it and attempt to get it so you can say it and tell people. Just relax. You want the magic to take place. You deserve it.
All right. So we're going to address now a very deep question from our brother Ty. What's up, Ty? Thanks for tuning in, brother, again.
Yo, peace, Ty.
So he's going through a lot of negative energy right now, as I can feel through his question here.
Yep.
He wants to make sure that we know that there's a constant negative atmosphere that is in full force around him right now. And his question is, he's practiced forgiveness. He's practiced living in the now. Every day is a new day. Yesterday is gone. Type thinking. But how does one remain constantly positive in an environment where the backstabbing and sabotage runs rampant on a nearly daily basis? It seems like this is happening at his job. And quitting his job would be the easy route, but not the wisest route.
Understood. I feel you, T. I feel you. Trust me, I do. However, and I'm glad you brought this up because a lot of people experience this. It's not about being positive. It's not. Because sometimes that's not going to happen. However, you do have the opportunity and ability to be peaceful because that's the nature of your presence. Peace is the truth. The truth. It sounds so nice to, you just got to smile and be positive and you got to think positive and you got to, forgive everybody and there are things, butterflies and rainbows. And this is a superficial approach that wears thin. A lot of people love to say this. You just got to be positive. Got to think positive, man. And, you know what I mean? Just, say your affirmations and smile. It's all good. That's very superficial. Things are going to happen that's going to piss you off. People are going to say things and be very disrespectful. Why? We're here in the hell planes. Most people operate from a space of insanity, the voice in their head. And a lot of times on the healing path, we get our buttons pressed. And these buttons are deeply ingrained within our being, not just necessarily this lifetime, but past lifetimes. These are deeply ingrained emotional blockages that are not healed through somebody telling you to just be positive. You just got to think positive. No. The beautiful thing about peace is there's a comforting silence and sense of presence that's self-reflective. Like a person will say some extremely rude stuff and the emotional body's affected. You want to return the favor. However, it's natural to fall back, to just fall back and allow it, to accept it. Don't participate. Being in these types of environments is a clear indication that you're here to set an example for people who are sick. As a healer, you're around sick people a lot. Doctors are around sick people a lot. Why? Because that's the nature of their work. And being a nice, generous, compassionate, caring, loving, open-hearted person, you're going to find yourself in situations and circumstances where you are the only one that's able to express these attributes. Hello. However, this is your job as a leader. This is where you're going to be. But you have to realize on the realest level there is, which is spiritually. I mean, skip all of the fluff, right? When you talk about real, what's real and being realistic, the realest thing here within this experience is the nature of your spiritual presence. Everything else is fluff. Matter is but the material spirit uses to express itself in order to expand upon the love that is. So when you talk about keeping it real, the nature of your spiritual presence and the frequency of your being is as real as it gets. This is as real as it gets. And I've expressed this before. The internal work of being present and expressing a sense of compassion and acceptance and allowance and wisdom. This is the hardest work on God's green earth. This is the hardest work on this planet. Pushing papers, showing up on time, wearing a uniform, doing what somebody tells you to do. I made over $100,000 a year doing this. It was very easy. Very easy. It's child's play. You just got to do what they told you to do. Any slave can come home with some money every day. Any slave. But it takes a leader to be compassionate, to be loving, to accept, to forgive oneself, to allow, to trust, to be confident, to be integral, to not allow the dramas and pain of others to pull you into some drama because they hurt. Anybody can do this fluff work, but the internal work of addressing your own emotions and being honest with yourself, being absolutely honest with yourself. It's not about faking it and attempting to outsmart or deceive anybody, but being completely honest with yourself. This is the hardest work on this planet. And once again, you can play other people, but you cannot look in the mirror every day and play yourself. This is the work that's necessary. You want to look your kids in the face and be a leader? Kids know. They can feel it. You can tell them all you want to, but they can feel it. They're much smarter than you think they are. You've been programmed for many generations already. They fresh out of heaven. They know exactly what's going on. But the energy doesn't lie. And if mommy and daddy are doing the inner work of shining their light and being 100% honest with themselves, them kids have no choice but to be proud of you. This is the work of a leader. The parents that are ushering in these children that decided or chose you as parents. They chose you as parents because they knew you had the strength to set that example for them amongst the chaos and darkness of this dimension. If you can step up to that and do the work internally, you deserve their recognition. So, to return to the original question, it's not about being positive, Ty. It's about being peaceful. As long as you don't participate in the dramas and arguments and debates and competition and all the other stuff that people within this sense of lower frequency or low self-esteem attempting to get you to participate in, obviously because they're either intimidated of you or they sense a lack of confidence within themselves and choose to attempt to get you to participate in their drama. Your strength is in not participating and falling back, letting go, not participating in that game. You're not here to play anybody's games. As God, you're not here to play nobody's game. You're here to do your thing and follow your heart. Beyond all the manipulation throughout this illusion, you're here to follow your heart and your own rules. And that's real talk. What you got?
Nothing. Carrie, she shared that she had that a few times with a group of girlfriends inside a coffee shop. One of her girlfriends suddenly said something mean out loud in public to her, I guess. She said she could have walked out the shop right away like a friend mentioned, but somehow she stayed on and didn't retaliate to hurt her back. She must be trying to put her down due to different vibration than she's on. Now she chooses not to engage with those type of friends on the lower vibration, but they've also dropped out of her chosen timeline. So
good. Well, once again, and being unconditionally loving starts within. You're not here to be anybody's punching bag. Straight up. They talking crazy and being disrespectful and all this other stuff. Go that way. You're not there to participate in that. You're not here to be verbally abused, emotionally abused, or any of that. Go that way. You're stronger than that. So once again, Carrie, it's wise to move in that direction. I'm not saying you need to run away, because there's people that say, oh, I need to run away. I need to surround myself with more positive people and this. Be where you are and accept where you are for what it is. But at the same time, you're not there to be abused. Love is stern, stable, loving, gentle, and forgiving. But at the same time, it's nothing to be played with. So move in your own direction. And if they attempting to disrespect you, I get people all the time, calling me all kind of names and using vulgar language on the page, but this is not the place for that. They delete it immediately. You can say what you want to say, but this is not the place for those type of expressions, this level of distortion. This is a place of peace, love, and care, and generosity amongst loving beings. So, yeah.
All right. Got a story, or that Doreen shared something with us. Her brother sexually harassed her when she was 14 years old. He didn't rape her, but she had to defend herself a dozen times. Their family situation wasn't common. Her and her brother were raised separately. 2 years later, he died, and she felt guilty of his death towards their mother. She feels that her whole life has been influenced by this happening, especially on relations and sexuality. She has trust issues since she felt betrayed by her own blood. She tried to let go, and act like nothing happened. But she kept being confronted with the consequences in her life for not, I guess, accepting or forgiving that. Also, the reason she has difficulty in forgiveness, in general, she has issues just letting go. She felt guilty because she thought she provoked it unconsciously by expressing sister love because they didn't see each other that much. She said she hoped this subject is not that shocking.
No, it's all good. What you got? What else?
And she thanks us very much, and she wishes you much healing as well. You can touch on that.
Yeah. So nobody asked to be violated on any level, regardless of how tempting or welcoming or open a person may be. The free will of all individuals should be respected. So, I mean, with that being said, there's nothing that you've done that brought about that experience. However, at the same token, it is an aspect of your creation. You created that experience for yourself as a catalyst of release and self-forgiveness and strength and balance. The things that you've expressed as far as issues, trust, or whatever the case may be, these are healed naturally through your experience. They're gonna heal. You have the intent to heal them. You've recognized you're addressing the issue. I mean, just off of the strength of you addressing this issue in a public forum such as this, there's a strength there. There's an openness there. There's a dialogue there, where this dialogue is basically you coming to terms to what has taken place. There's nobody at fault. It's an experience that you've created as an aspect of your path, and returning to a place of balance and acceptance and unconditional love. Yes, you love your brother. There's a lot of experiences within the family construct, especially when it comes to molestation and rape. Just to keep it 100, I had a sexual experience with an aunt of mine when I was 3 years old. Didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't necessarily raped as in, it being a painful experience, but at the same time, I did feel a sense of violation later. But through our ability to accept ourselves and what has taken place, we're able to forgive ourselves and forgive those who've taken advantage of the situation. They're taking advantage of us. People are doing the best that they can. Everybody is. As harsh and as hurtful as some of these experiences may be, once again, we all are still doing the best that we can. And through that sense of compassion and acceptance and forgiveness, we're able to be present and know that beyond all that's taking place, all that's transpired, we're here. And we're more powerful than anything that's ever taken place, that's ever transpired within our experience. The testimony to our power is in our presence and our ability to still be here. That means all the sad stories and things that we express that's happened in our lives aren't necessarily badges of honor, but basically expressions or examples of the power that we have within ourselves. It's taking place, but we're still here, and we have work to do. We came here to do this work, and we are more than capable of completing our mission and returning to the heavenly realms. Absolutely. What else you got, CeeLo?
That's about it.
That's about it?
Like, we touched on a lot, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We went through the whole thing. Unless they have any other questions out there pertaining to the topic of this evening's discussion, which is forgiveness, for those of y'all that just tuned in. If not, unfortunately, my power for the iPad apparatus that we're using right now is a little below 10%. So we might have to cut the video feed off for a moment and come back on through our phone. However, just if it does cut off, please bear with us.
Do you want to go to an outlet?
Well,
we can move it to an outlet.
We can.
Yeah.
There's one there, but the door's going to keep us on.
Is it? What about the one back there?
No, there's one right here.
Okay, cool. Let's go over there.
We could just stand up.
Yeah, let's go over there. Yeah, of course, we could.
Okay, I'll set that up.
Cool.
Here, you can take this with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll grab everything else. You'll see it. We just got to go right around the corner right now. I got to actually go inside the cafe area instead of on the table.
Over here.
See it?
Yeah, I see it. So bear with us one moment, please. No, well, you can probably bring it. You can bring it.
I'll pass this to you.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right.
We're still live?
Yeah, it's still live. All right, so looks like it's plugged in.
Do you want to stool?
Sure, that'd be great. Thank you. Really appreciate it. As you can tell, C's is extremely informative and very helpful to our entire collective. It's a great honor to have his camaraderie amongst our collective. You want to get a stool too, bro?
Huh? No, I'll just stand there. I'll just.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Easy enough. So, can you give me? I think we got some more questions.
Okay, so Carrie has just asked, with a person who is highly advanced in healing and who is psychic, is dishonest, may have karmic consequences as a result of callousness.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if they're advanced in healing and psychic, but are sometimes dishonest, they have karmic consequences as a result of callousness.
So, as far as a person's psychic abilities or divine gifts or the recognition and openness to the divine gifts that are natural within an incarnate, it doesn't have any effect on a person's ability to be honest and integral. I mean, there's people who are psychic that are dishonest quite often. It's the nature of the human experience and the healing path. Just because a person is psychic doesn't necessarily mean that they're automatically aligned with the truth of themselves and they don't have energetic blockages that may affect other aspects of their energy system. When it comes to karma, it's not black and white. Karma to the on a superficial level is, okay, if I do this, then somebody gonna do it back to me, right? It's not necessarily the way the divine works. It's a little more complex than that. Of course, you're experiencing your own energy. However, this is not to say that everything that you do will mirror amongst your experience with others exactly as it mirrors within your experience or what you project. It's a little deeper than that. And at the end of the day, it's really more so beyond logical comprehension, where it's about acceptance of the moment. If I was to say, oh yeah, if you do this and it's going to happen to you. I mean, once again, this is a linear projection and feeling that, and a lot of people take karma as this boogeyman is going to get you. Oh, I did this, so you better watch out. You better not cry. Like, this is not how karma works. The divine is a little more complex and intelligent than that. It is wise to express a sense of honesty, right? The realization of psychic abilities is a testament to the gifts and blessings that involve your experience here on earth, right? But at the same time, that sense of presence is beyond attempting to gauge and anticipate experiences beyond anticipation and expectation, which is where a lot of people associate karma with. There is a sense of presence. And that sense of presence allows you to continue forth on your path and doing the work and making decisions that are best and in alignment with the truth of yourself. And this is a constant thing. This is constant. It's not about analyzing your reality and attempting to deviate from things that you don't want to experience. So being more present is necessary. This is where you exist beyond karma. You do things, things happen. You do things, things happen. However, the analysis and attempting to figure out and maneuver and work with karma as if it's some tool in order to create is counterproductive to your sense of presence and your elevation and experiencing the miracle of life itself. So you can probably just relax this here.
Mm-hmm. So, Thurston has asked, can you speak on forgiveness as it applies to a former belief system? I don't know what belief system he's referring to, but I could.
Well, basically, belief systems are it's the things that we or not we, but the mind believes and doesn't believe. However, as you evolve, you realize that belief is based in doubt. The mind believes and disbelieves things because of past experiences. And this is the illusion of linear time. However, once again, as you evolve, you move beyond these limitations.
So he said Christianity was his belief.
Oh, okay, so you're talking about a religious belief system. Okay, and how is forgiveness, what was the original question?
It applies to a former belief system.
Okay, so how does forgiveness apply to the Christianity, if you will? Acceptance. Yeah, I mean, religion is it's but a stepping stone into attempting to realize the nature of the unseen. They're attempting to realize the nature of the unseen. What are we doing here? They're attempting to realize the structure or nature of the divine through a doctrine, through a prophet, or a doctrine that is old. However, for example, Christianity is, this is a storybook created by the Anunnaki. It was put together as a manipulation tool to take the manifestation power away from humanity and put it in the hands of them or someone outside of oneself. The Anunnaki created the Bible in order to take the power away from humanity and realizing that all are manifestations of prime creator. Oh, God had a son and his son was, it's not one female in that book. Like, you know what I mean? This is clearly a chauvinistic book of indoctrination and enslavement. But as it refers to forgiveness, let it go. Everybody is where they are on their spiritual path. Unawakened souls attempt to connect with spirit and connect with a deep sense of presence, or the true self, or the truth of themselves that they feel is much grander than their day-to-day lifestyle through religion. This is what they hold on to in attempting to connect with the nature of the divine. And once again, it's not from a place of judgment that we approach or attempt to analyze people or these religious doctrines or whatever the case may be, but through a sense of acceptance that a lot of people still exist here, a lot of people still exist there. They're still within the constructs of Jesus and waiting on a Savior to save them as if they're a victim. Wholesome intentions, however distorted. Wholesome intentions. This was like the foundation of my awakening. As a child, you go to church and you see older ladies and they spend most of their time in church praising the Lord and dancing and singing and worshiping and investing all their energy into a grander power, which they realize, however, it's filtered through the mind. So once again, wholesome intentions, however distorted, but forgiveness is in allowing all to embrace where they are on their spiritual path and self-realization. So these are attempts, and they're reaching to realize the depth of experience and creation, the foundation of existence. However, it's a distortion, but evolution cannot be forced. It's not learned in a class. It's experienced through one's experience. It's unfolded. It's an unfoldment.
I got something from
Yo.
Wow. Okay. What about mass forgiveness? This is from Tala. I hope I said your name correctly. We are being oppressed daily by the Israeli occupation in Palestine. How can we practice forgiveness in this sense? She would love some guidance.
Acceptance. Acceptance that this is an aspect of your path. The souls within that region have chosen this experience, and yes, on the grander scale, it looks to be unfair and completely distorted. A true violation of free will, nationalism, if you will, on a grand scale in public. However, the nature of those energies are serving as a catalyst of your sense of acceptance and all of those within that region of acceptance of what's taking place. There's only divine order. And once again, I reiterate that there's nothing taking place on this planet that who I am as your commander, Ashtar, who we are, the angelic realms, the Galactic Federation of Light, the spiritual hierarchy, or the Galactic Council are not aware of. I mean, we're talking about a countless number of star nations and beings observing what's taking place here on planet Earth in this now moment. We're aware of everything, 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 everything. There's nothing, absolutely nothing that we are not aware of and that we aren't monitoring in this now moment. There's nothing out of place at all. So through your sense of acceptance, you're experiencing the healing that's necessary within that particular frequency range. If it requires a sense of forgiveness, a sense of compassion, a sense of acceptance, and releasing the fear that someone's just allowing this to happen, or something's being done to you or Palestine or Israel or whatever. This is a lack of trust in the divine. It's all happening exactly how it's supposed to. Once again, your strength is in your acceptance, forgiveness, and stability, and allowing everything to take place as it does. There's a grand design here. And no, it's not going to make sense at all. It looks totally backwards and absolutely unnecessary and unfair and everything else you can name. Inhumane, anything else you can name. It seems like that. Oh my God. But, justice for we've Seth somebody, justice for, the guy that got shot yesterday, and acceptance. You're being taunted. You're being taunted to participate in the drama. You're being taunted to choose sides. It's all competition. You're being taunted to worry. You're being taunted to be resentful.
To live in fear.
No doubt. To live in fear. To be worried. You're being taunted to play the game. Leaders are not here to play anybody's game. If anything, the primary work of the leaders of the new earth in this now moment is in cultivating the beautiful imagery and services and gifts that you're here to share with the masses on an individual level and allowing them to expand. There's a rebuilding process that's unfolding. However, you need to be ready. And right now, through your healing, through your grounding, through your acceptance, through your presence, you are preparing to serve the masses because they require that energy. The inner work that's necessary for you to do is being done now through your ability to accept these things and exist beyond the drama and knowing this is all necessary. There's grand unfoldments taking place that'll bring all this stuff to an end like that. But with that ending, there's responsibilities that you will be called upon to uphold. However, once again, it's necessary for you to be strong enough to be responsible enough to maintain these responsibilities. This takes place now in the inner work that you're doing now. Oh, where's Nassar? Where's the money? I can't wait. This, where's the ships? Blah, 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 blah. There's work to do right now. You're not waiting on anything. Because in actuality, and you experiencing your own energy and you unfolding or being at the foundation of this unfoldment, in a way the divine is waiting on you to do the work necessary to elevate your frequency, to be prepared to carry out the work and responsibilities that you're here to carry out. However, it will not be present until you're prepared to take on these responsibilities. What else you got, see?
Let's see. Just comments.
No questions?
No more questions. I got one though.
Yo.
So I would like to touch on or get a from your perspective the explanation for us all the importance of forgiveness in our grounding process in this now moment, in our daily grounding process. So the importance of that.
In a way, it's at the foundation. Being that grounding is about presence. The only way for you to be present beyond the things that have taken place before this now moment or outside of this now moment is through forgiveness. The letting go of what has taken place. Because if you don't let go, there's only analysis. Renard, that is exactly what's taking place here. This is the grooming of divine leadership. The grooming of divine leadership. Once again, the grooming of divine leadership. All that you're experiencing is a preparation for a work that has taken thousands of years to unfold. Thousands upon thousands of years of human enslavement has come to this now moment, this lifetime, this now moment, right here. You've been being prepared for this. You've been preparing yourself for this. The angelic realms have been preparing you. Training, initiations all throughout your conscious experience and your subconscious experience through your sleep, through your emotional experience, through the trials and tribulations of your families, the losses, and all the things that you describe in your life. All of it. And to a certain extent, it can seem very, 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 very harsh. But it's been all necessary. What you got?
I have one from Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Jay said, how can her and her husband find true forgiveness in their marriage? No judgment or holding grudges or keeping score.
Mm-hmm.
That was...
So, I recently had this conversation. In relationships, especially of this nature, when you're dealing with the ego mind and separation, because this is where all the chaos comes from. When you're dealing with the ego mind, there's a sense of competition. It's me against you. This is the mind in relationships. It's me against you. However, if one party loves the other party, communication is necessary. However, and it's not necessarily the tricky part, but this is where things turn. It's necessary to have a third party there to communicate with between the two. Why? Because party A has an emotional filter when it comes to being open to the communications from party B, and vice versa. Party B has an emotional filter in receiving communications and acceptance or communications in general. There's a filter there because the mind construct is focused on the person getting their point and the other person getting their point, or understanding that person, or this person being right and this person being wrong. So even if what you're saying makes perfect sense or it's in alignment with the truth, yeah, it's like talking to a brick wall because there's a filter there. They You're talking, but they don't hear you because it's coming from you. It's coming from you. So if there is a desire to be to experience the union and continue to experience the union and wanting to make it work, it's helpful to get counseling and speak with a counsel that's helpful and can speak from a neutral space of being where both are receiving the respect and compassion and all parties are heard and basically are able to continue or at least get the points across between the two. It's just the communication is necessary. However, if it's just you two and you're talking and bickering and arguing, and you feel like you're on different sides of the pond and you're going back and forth, there's only chaos, there's only debate, there's only my perspective versus your perspective, my point versus your point.
I'm right, you're wrong.
I'm right, you're wrong. This is good, this is bad. This is all separation. And once again, this is insanity because it's going nowhere. When you come to a space of humility and you actually realize that you both love each other and you want to be a part of the union, then there's room to communicate. However, that communication needs to take place amongst a third party. So there aren't filters in what's being expressed from party A to party B. There needs to be that party C to allow for both to understand from a detached, objective perspective in realizing the nature of what's going on. Something's going on with it's not charging.
With the power?
Yeah, change plugs or something.
Did it pop up? I mean, it didn't go out, so it should have been charging.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's probably not charging a lot because we're still using it.
Okay.
Well,
what else you got?
Addie says, hard not to feel your pain watching you in this moment to even really engage in the topic. I send you love and healing energy. So,
Hey, thank you, Addie. All is well indeed. What else you got?
Carrie always refers to going back to a state of calmness and peace to
Mm-hmm.
overcome the outcomes of drama, this linear illusion.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, strange enough, last year been told not to laugh out loud at a funeral by my mom. All of a sudden, she must know I'm the angel of joy.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are saying forgiveness has been a great topic for this evening.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really not getting any more questions right
Okay.
now.
And that's a great thing.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. If anything, I'd like to share is thank you for being here. Thank you for connecting, sharing the energy amongst us and who we are as one family. It's always a great honor and pleasure to connect with all of you. You're truly loved and honored for being here and doing the work that you're doing. Once again, planet Earth is an experience is one of the harshest and darkest of this sector of space within this universe, to be exact. However, you've been chosen as the best of the best to be here and do what you're doing. So know that we love you, we honor you, and you will be recognized for your work here. And there was a mention of the Akashic record somewhere.
Yes,
what was that?
I think Carrie spoke of this. Let me come back. I have to refresh. Oh, I lost it here. Hold on. Let's see if I can. Nomics in the building. Yo, what up, Rich?
Mm-hmm.
I think Carrie's. Bear with us, folks. Let's see. Right here. I thought it may be recorded in the Akashics, all events, actions, intentions, etc., where she herself also mentioned. So it was interesting how she steered off path anyway. Thanks to love. Probably talking about her mother.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, once again, Divine Family, we love you as always. Thank you for being here and shining the light here on planet Earth. Your liberation is at hand. If anything, it's necessary to know this. Beyond the drama, be present, accepting, and graceful in all that you do. Let's keep it moving. What you got, CeeLo?
Shuzika asked you, do you need some healing energy from the diamond heart of the 22 galaxies and above? She also works with the Ascended Masters.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's trying to send you this quick healing.
Yeah, I'm open. I'm always open. I'm open to all connections. I love you. Thank you for doing so.
Let's see. Let's see. What else we got? I can touch on the upcoming events coming up.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, bro.
Once again, hello. Let's build community, one family. How y'all doing? So I just wanted to let you guys know that we have some great things in the works. I'd like to give a special shout out to Miss Ellen Bush and Miss Carrie Chu. Basically, they both have expressed their interest and natural abilities of sharing and create through their own creativity to host a Let's Build in their own communities. So I think first we're gonna get one from Miss Ellen Bush. We're still working out the details, but it should be coming. If not this week coming up, then most likely the following week. Also, with Carrie, we're still talking in the works of when's a better day. She did originally choose this next Saturday coming up, but the brothers and I have a previous engagement. Well, honestly, me and Amon have a previous engagement. The brothers are most likely come support us. We're actually providing our service as bartenders for a house party. So that should be fun for me and Amon and whoever else decides to come and bless us with their presence. So this is still open to anybody else out there, all over the planet. I had a kind of like a dream the other day where I expressed to Amon and AZ that continuing to serve in the way that we do only creates for more healing and more love and more peace on the planet. So anybody that is willing to host a Let's Build event where they're at, basically, if you can imagine this, I have expressed that I don't want to subject anybody to a certain day, a certain time, whatever, because as you see, you could do the live feed and people can always tune back in if they didn't get a chance. Maybe they're at work, maybe they're out on vacation, what have you. However, if you can picture this, if we have a Let's Build event on all different days throughout the week, that is what you call global healing. And that is definitely universal, brothers and sisters. So the global healing that can take place with anybody that's naturally willing to express their creativity. It doesn't have to be a forum. It doesn't have to be a speech-based. It can be very different from what we do here with as you tune into Commander Ashtar for guidance. We can tune into you for different types of culture where you're at. I would love to see the different types of culture. If I could travel to all over the planet right now, I would do so. But right now, this is where I'm supposed to be in the moment with the brothers and providing this healing. So if anybody's interested, once again, I will post another thank you for you guys tuning in. And in that comment section, you can relay if you are interested in hosting your own Let's Build, if you need any help. As far as the flyer, artwork, we all in the community can help each other. It doesn't just have to be me, Amon, or AZ helping you guys set up. I know Miss Ellen Bush does a lot of artwork. Marie, Roxana. There's so many people out there that that have natural abilities to provide the help that we all can use and utilize and have the tools to host a Let's Build in our community. And so I would really like for us all to realize this dream together. And this is definitely for the children. And these are videos that can be in the archives. They're already put in the Akashic Records, but in the archives of Facebook or what have you, in the technology archives, your children, our children, upcoming children, new star seeds, new light workers, people that are just got awoken can look back at these Let's Build sessions from when we started, and maybe years and years and years later, eons later, and can still continue to get the help and the healing that they need to help with their grounding, most and foremost, the ascension process, if you have, and things of that nature. So I'm very happy to be of service again this evening with Lavelle Zimmerman, Commander Ashtar, AZ, and soon to be known as Love L. People look out for that. That album will be coming out. But however, even though we're here in the hospital, even though AZ is going through something with an ailment, we're still not, I want to say, superficially positive. We know that this is where we're supposed to be. We know that no matter where we are, that we can always provide service. And that is the point. Continue to provide service in divine service. Universal brothers and sisters. I love you all. I'm going to let AZ have the final words, if you will, and hope to see you guys next Thursday. And we will also choose another topic presented by the community. So feel free to also put those topics in the comments, not on the live page, on this live feed, but the one that I will send out as a thank you to you guys tuning in this evening. And we can pick another topic from there. All right? Thank you very much.
Yo, it's all good, yo. Word. We love y'all. Let's keep it moving. Our mission here on a new earth continues to evolve and unfold. Let's go, God. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Peace.